Hello, my name is Desiree Mangandog, and I have a question for you. Are you tired of feeling guilty over something you did or said a long time ago? Do you chronically feel guilty? Stay tuned, because I'm going to share with you some powerful tools to free yourself of the heaviness that guilt creates in our lives. To learn the best methods to experience emotional freedom and create flow, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you can be notified when a new video is up every Tuesday. Chronic guilt in the past has held me down. It kept me in a holding tank, and it prevented me from feeling the freedom to express myself and to be creative. I honestly felt like I wasn't deserving or worthy of anything better. I used to be a chronic people pleaser as well. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that the ones who always want to please others have a higher tendency to experience guilt and shame and worthlessness. So we're going to dive into the aspects of guilt and even talk about what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate, because I can recall so many times where I felt guilty over something that I really didn't need to. But first things first, let's define what guilt is. Guilt is a feeling of responsibility or remorse or regret for some offense, crime, wrongdoing, whether real or imagined. I absolutely love the fact that in this definition, they included real or imagined. First thing we have to unpack and analyze is the guilt appropriate or inappropriate? Is it real or is it imagined? How long should one really experience guilt? Well, in my background of classical 5-element acupuncture, we are taught that every emotion is important and every emotion is meant to be expressed. Now, this is the one thing that isn't discussed often, is that we also talk about every emotion having a cycle, a season, just like with fall, winter, spring, and summer. There are clear beginning dates and end dates of the season. So that's the same thing with our emotions. There's actually a beginning date that an emotion is generated. And then there is a natural end date as well. Now, we get into trouble when the emotion goes beyond its end date. We store emotions that are actually expired. So it depends on the circumstance. It depends on the person, that the feeling of guilt for one person might only need to last an hour. Another person, maybe about 24 hours. I really haven't seen a necessity to experience guilt more than a week or so. There are some unfortunate situations, very heavy situations, where I can see guilt being appropriate for longer than a week. Maybe it's a month or two. But still, there's an end date. And we want to identify what that end date is and be able to release it if we have gone through its natural cycle. One thing I love to do is to literally ask my body some questions. Remember, answers are not all going to come from here. There's a place for the mind, but a lot of answers are stored and experienced within our body. So I ask my body, first thing, heart, belly, sacrum, wherever you want to ask, or maybe it's just the entire body. I ask my heart, is this guilt appropriate? Was it something that was imposed upon me and I didn't discern well and I just took it on? Or was it appropriately generated? Once I've identified whether it's substantiated or unsubstantiated guilt, then I ask, Is it appropriate, body, to continue feeling this? Have I completed the cycle of experiencing this guilt? And when I get a resounding yes, that I have completed experiencing this guilt, that I can actually move on from it, I feel a centering, a yes centering that happens like an anchor. My body just says yes. In Chinese medicine, it is the metal element that is associated with guilt and resentment and remorse. The organs for the metal element are the lungs and the large intestine. So a lot of these feelings get stored in the lungs as well as the large intestine. So the lungs inspire in, breathe in the new, helping us to take in new ideas, new inspiration. And then the large intestine helps us to let go of the waste, to let go of the things that are expired. So we're going to actually use some essential oils that are wonderful for the metal element. Now, with metal element, there is a flavor that helps and supports the metal element the most, that it is the acrid, pungent, aromatic type plants and essential oils. So they are very lung opening, lung dispersing. It disperses these accumulations and stagnations. So if you think about the density of guilt, it's one of the slowest moving type emotions. It's okay to feel, remember, but we cannot continue feeling that for months or years at a time. That's where pathology will begin to build up. So we are going to use 3 essential oils that help to disperse, to break apart and let go. We're utilizing the energy of the large intestine to release and rid waste. We're going to let go of the guilt so that you have the freedom to move forward. So we are going to liberate the lungs with cardamom, eucalyptus, and black spruce. I'm going to give 2 options here. One, you can take a drop of each oil, put them in your hand, cup over your nose like so, and inhale for a good 3 minutes. Nice, slow inhales that way. Or you can put them in the diffuser. So a diffuser is this machine where you fill it with water to a particular line and then you drop in 3 drops each of cardamom, eucalyptus, and black spruce in there. And then a steady stream of that essential oil just penetrates the room and you continually inhale that blend. The cardamom and the black spruce are going to go into your field, in your system, and identify the expired regret, remorse, guilt, shame surrounding something, and it's going to help to, it'll attach it and transform it and release it out of your system. And then we have the eucalyptus as a very supportive essential oil. It's holding the space for the cardamom and black spruce to do its job. It's the nurturing, supportive oil that reminds us that, you know what? You're perfectly safe to let this go. It's okay for you to no longer feel guilty about that circumstance anymore. A lesson has been learned, apologies have been made, and there is no need to swirl in this heaviness for the rest of your life. And even if you don't think at the top of your mind consciously that you've been guilty about something, it's always a good idea to check in with your body and ask your body, because there are so many feelings that are humming in the background that we may not be consciously aware of, But because it's always humming in the background, it's become like a white noise and we don't notice it anymore. But when you finally release it, you'll see that you didn't realize how heavy all that actually was. I promise you, it feels like 100 pounds just lifted off of your chest, and you'll be able to take deeper, cleaner, beautiful breaths. If you would like to join a community of creative, like-minded entrepreneurs like yourself, then join our fabulous and free Facebook group. Be sure to answer the 3 questions so that you can get into the group. And if you don't have these powerful essential oils yet to experience the emotional freedom that you desire, then make sure to look at the description below and there will be a link for you to contact me and we can discuss what oils you need and how to get them. If you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. Be sure to check out these other 2 videos to help up-level your frequency. One on how to rid yourself of toxic relationships, and the other to learn how to remove negative thoughts. Thank you so much, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.